that a judge really did that. They're deranged is all I can.
Do you think our democracy is at risk in this election?
I think that it is. I always keep saying democracy is great, of course. But democracy people take for granted. It's a word that some people don't even understand. They take it for granted. It's about right and wrong.
You know the day's about to go off the rails when Robert De Niro strolls in, drops a truth grenade, and suddenly Pam Bondi's out here scrambling like a DJ with a broken turntable. 1 second, she's remixing Trump's legal disasters like it's a MAGA mixtape, and the next bam, De Niro drops a line so cold it could freeze Mar-a-Lago. Cue Trump spiraling into full eruption mode. Red-faced, ranting, spewing word salad, and denying harder than a gambler down to his last chip. It was like someone hit the emergency brake on a carnival ride mid-spin. Want to see how one Hollywood icon sparked a full-blown MAGA meltdown? Just by keeping it real, buckle up, this political circus just turned into a Scorsese flick.
I've made it clear, if you take part in the wave of domestic terrorism against Tesla properties, we will find you, arrest you, and put you behind bars. Today, I'm proud to announce that the Department of Justice has unsealed federal charges against another Tesla attacker. This is a new DOJ, and we are taking steps to protect Americans, American citizens, and angel moms, like the mom standing right behind me, who you're going to hear from in a moment. New York has chosen to prioritize illegal aliens over American citizens.
Before we dive in, go ahead and smash that like button and hit subscribe, because trust me, you don't want to miss this one. Pam Bondi strutted into that debate like she was starring in a courtroom drama, ghost-written by The Apprentice, all swagger. No substance, convinced the world would follow her script. But plot twist, no one told her Robert De Niro was in the cast, and he didn't come to play. He showed up locked, loaded, and fuming, armed with facts, fire, and the energy of a man who's been counting down the days to roast every sycophantic lawyer fueling this political dumpster fire.
And we are taking steps to protect Americans, American citizens. New York has chosen to prioritize illegal aliens over American citizens.
It kicked off like most Pam Bondi appearances, drenched in deflection, glazed with condescension, and topped with the smug confidence of someone who thinks Google is a deep state op. She came for De Niro's points like she was cross-examining him, in a courtroom built from Fox News chyrons and the stale scent of expired Diet Coke.
It stops today. New York didn't listen. So now
And De Niro didn't flinch, didn't blink, didn't even lean forward. He just sat there and dropped verbal napalm, calm, surgical, and devastating. The room went silent. Jaws hit the floor in synchronized disbelief. And somewhere off camera, Trump probably knocked over a can of Diet Sprite mid-meltdown.
Let's go back to Pam Bondi yesterday, who makes it very clear it is a new day.
Pam, fully decked out in courtroom cosplay, tried to shove De Niro into the usual Hollywood elite corner. Because when you can't defend insurrection, corruption, or classified documents tucked next to the toilet, you just scream Hollywood and hope no one remembers your last major moment was butchering the impeachment defense like it was karaoke night at Mar-a-Lago.
And Mark Schroeder, this is a new DOJ, and we are taking steps to protect Americans, American citizens. New York has chosen to prioritize illegal aliens over American citizens. It stopped.
But this wasn't a movie, this was live TV, and Robert De Niro wasn't acting. He delivered a monologue so raw, so righteous, it belongs etched in marble outside every courthouse Trump ever tried to storm, Sharpie in one hand, cheeseburger in. The other De Niro didn't just call Bondi out for being wrong. He called her out for knowing she was wrong and doubling down anyway, for clinging to relevance through the dark arts of misdirection, for playing her part in the Trump legal circus, where facts go to die, spin is king, and blind loyalty earns you a weekend slot on Newsmax and the internet. It detonated. Viral doesn't even scratch it. The TikTok clip hit so hard, teenagers paused their dance challenges to Google, "Who is Pam Bondi?" and "Why is Robert De Niro giving her a verbal wedgie on live TV?" Millions watched, millions shared, millions laughed, and in perfect, glorious unison they screamed, "Finally."
But I do see that the governor of New York now is putting the National Guard in the subway. As a New Yorker, what do you think of that? What do you think they'd say if he did it?
Well, if he did it, it's for another reason. Her doing it, I haven't heard about it. They just told me just before, but I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I'm not happy about it,
But crime in New York, you know something about that.
Well, I
You've
don't.
played it. It's happened to you.
I don't have.
Got rid of the
that's
filth.
organized crime.
And while De Niro's delivery was cool and collected, his message hit like a sledgehammer. He stripped away the layers of Pam Bondi's faux outrage, exposing it for what it really was: loyalty theater. Starring a woman who spent more time defending a failed reality TV host than learning how subpoenas actually work. He reminded everyone that her recent career has been one long audition to stay in the favor of a man who once asked if injecting bleach could cure COVID. And Trump? Right on cue, he spiraled. Full meltdown mode. Think blackout rage tweeting, allegedly, pacing Mar-a-Lago, ranting into the ether about Hollywood thugs attacking beautiful patriots like Pam. You'd think De Niro lit the Constitution on fire, when, really, all he did was calmly suggest that enabling authoritarian chaos for 4 straight years isn't exactly a patriotic merit badge. But here's the twist. Bondi never saw it coming. She tried to clap back, but the moment was already gone. The internet had made up its mind. She lost a fight she picked with the wrong man. Going toe-to-toe with De Niro is like bringing a water gun to a demolition site. You can aim all you want, but the only thing getting soaked is your own credibility. Meanwhile, Trump was reportedly melting down faster than a MAGA hat left on a barbecue grill. He's fine throwing punches, but the man loathes it when someone hits back with facts, composure, and the full cinematic weight of Goodfellas behind them. And let's not forget, Pam Bondi isn't just a background extra in this circus. She's been front and center in Trump's legal clown car, always camera ready, armed with the legal logic of a broken vending machine. Her resume? Turning impeachable offenses into patriotic fairy tales, dismissing insurrection footage as media spin, and delivering courtroom arguments so confusing even Rudy Giuliani probably squinted. That's what made De Niro's Takedown so brutal and so poetic. It wasn't a smear. It wasn't a scream fest. It was one man, calm and unshaken, finally saying what so many have been too polite, too scared, or too tired to admit. You're not defending a cause. You're defending a... Cunning deep down, you know it.
But I do see that the governor of New York now is putting the National Guard in the subway. As a New Yorker, what do you think of that? What do you think they'd say if he did it?
Well, if he did it, it's for another reason. Her doing it, I haven't heard about it. They just told me just before, but I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I'm not happy about it,
But crime in New York, you know something about that.
Well, I
You've
don't.
played it. It's happened to you.
Attorney General of the United States, Pam Bondi, and I want to congratulate Pam. She's worked hard. She's going to restore fair, equal, and impartial justice and restore the constitutional rule of law in America. Going to end the weaponization of federal law enforcement and restore honesty and integrity at the DOJ and the FBI. And she's going to be working with Cash, and she's going to be working with a lot of other people that you've been reading about. So if you look at New York, if you look at Chicago, if you look at Los Angeles,
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Of course, Pam tried to recover, tried being the key word. She reached into her usual grab bag of tricks. Deflect, pivot, toss out buzzwords like witch hunt and constitutional overreach like she was playing political Mad Libs on autopilot. But the damage? Already done, De Niro didn't just call her out, he dismantled her with surgical precision, peeled back her strategy like a week-old spray tan, and you could see it on her face, that half-second freeze where even she realized, oh no, I'm not winning this. It was the same look a law student gives when they study all night for civil procedure and accidentally walk into a criminal law exam. Except in Bondi's case, she probably skipped the studying altogether and just brought a gold-embossed printout of Trump's old Twitter feed. Meanwhile, De Niro's mic drop was spreading like wildfire. Political Twitter, blazing, TikTok, flooded, late-night shows, already writing punchlines, even your Facebook uncle somewhere. Between a Minion meme and a post about chemtrails was hitting the share button. The hashtags were merciless. And it wasn't just liberals cheering disillusioned conservatives tipped their hats in quiet solidarity. Because no matter your politics, watching Robert De Niro obliterate someone in full HD is let's be honest, deeply satisfying, especially when that someone is Pam Bondi, defender of the indefensible, attorney of the absurd, and proud graduate of the University of, well, technically Trump and Trump. Fully unraveling. Sources, okay? Probably the Mar-a-Lago waitstaff claimed he stomped around in his golf shoes all night, demanding to know why no one told him De Niro was allowed on TV. At one point, he reportedly floated suing De Niro for disrespect. But here's the truth. It wasn't just about Bondi getting humiliated. It was about her being exposed. Not by politicians, not by pundits, not even by the fake news. No, this time it came from an actor. A man whose job is pretending, and who still does it better than Trump ever did pretending to be a patriot.
And what we have here is a denial of truth all over the place.
Let's be real. Pam Bondi's resume doesn't scream seasoned legal mind. It reads more like political seat filler with a decent blowout and a working mic. She's basically the chicken nugget of attorneys, processed, palatable for the base, and completely lacking in real substance. Her playbook talk in circles. Parrot whatever Trump just barked into a microphone, and act shocked when someone hits her with actual facts. That's exactly why she never stood a chance. Because Robert De Niro wasn't just debating her, he was dismantling the entire performance. Bondi's career has been built on vague indignation, weaponized victimhood, and legal-sounding word salad meant to impress people who think reading past the headline is elitist. De Niro stripped it all away. And what he exposed wasn't a brilliant legal strategist, it was pure theater cheap. Overacted and wildly under-researched theater, tailor-made for an audience that confuses blind loyalty with law and buzzwords with brilliance. And the kicker, Bondi actually thought she could take him. She walked onto that stage thinking she could out-talk Robert De Niro, a man who's delivered more iconic courtroom scenes than she's filed coherent motions, and thought, I got this. That's not confidence. That's delusion. It's like challenging Gordon Ramsay to a cook-off with nothing but a warm Pop-Tart and a slice of plastic cheese in your back pocket.
So I traveled with President Trump in 2016 before he was president, then after he was president, all over the country. He would always go up, I don't care if there were 100 people in the room, he would go up to the law enforcement officers and shake their hands and thank them for what they do. And that's what we can all still be doing, because there are still so many great men and women out there who wear the uniform, given all the risk, all the perils that we've talked about this evening.
As the video kept going viral, Trump's allies scrambled into full-blown damage control. Newsmax aired a segment claiming De Niro was senile and out of touch, coming from people whose last brush with current events was an email chain titled Gas. Stoves banned by Biden. Meanwhile, Fox tried to spin it with a segment called Is Hollywood Meddling in Our Sacred Legal Institutions? As if Pam Bondi hadn't already turned the courtroom into a bad SNL sketch with no punchlines and way too much. Hairspray and Bondi? Silent, not a peep. No tweets. No shaky Instagram selfie with a Bible verse in the caption. Nothing. Her silence said more than De Niro ever could. It was the sound of someone who'd finally run out of talking points, someone realizing, maybe for the first time, that defending Trump isn't lawyering. It's brand management. For a brand that's collapsing faster than a Truth Social server during a tantrum, and let's not kid ourselves, that brand, it's falling apart. The lawsuits are piling up. Criminal referrals are being handed out like Halloween candy. And the legal arguments? Flimsier than a paper straw and a MAGA milkshake. But instead of doing her actual job, Bondi's still treating this like an audition for America's Next Top Fall Guy.
And if you don't comply with federal law, we will hold you accountable. We did it to Illinois. Strike one. Strike two is New York. And if you are a state not complying with federal law, you're next. Get ready. And what New York has, they have green light laws, meaning they're giving a green light to any illegal alien in New York, where law enforcement officers cannot check their identity if they pull them over.
De Niro didn't need to scream or throw insults. He simply dropped the truth, backed by decades of moral authority and a healthy dose of New York sarcasm. And with that, the entire empire of spin came crashing down. But what made this moment truly iconic wasn't just his delivery. It was the complete unraveling of Pam Bondi's courtroom confidence. You could practically watch her internal cue cards crumble under the weight of actual accountability. De Niro walked in armed with nothing but honesty and left Bondi with meme status and a permanent seat on the bad takes bench. As the clip spread, the fallout was impossible to ignore. Pam Bondi, who usually graces cable news more often than pharma ads, suddenly vanished from every screen. No MSNBC rebuttal. No Fox News spin. Not even a half-baked Facebook post in Comic Sans. It was like someone hit the off switch, or worse, handed her a mirror. De Niro, on the other hand, didn't run to the press or take a victory lap. He let the truth simmer, allowing the internet to do the heavy lifting. When you drop that much truth, you don't need to keep swinging. You just drop the mic and let the silence speak for itself. And speak it did. That silence reverberated across cable networks, political threads, Reddit, rabbit holes, and dinner tables all over America.
Officers do not have access to their background. And if these great men and women pull over someone and don't have access to their background, they have no idea who they're dealing with. And it puts their lives on the line every single day. Violent criminals, gang members, drug traffickers.
Trump, on the other hand, couldn't resist. Like Pavlov's dog with a Twitter account, he reportedly unleashed a 3-minute rant on Truth Social that read like it was dictated through a malfunctioning voice-to-text app during a full-blown tantrum. All caps, spelling errors, paranoid ramblings straight out of a conspiracy blog, and of course at least one reference to Hollywood mafia thugs, just your typical presidential fare, and that's where the comedy lies. Pam Bondi walked into that debate thinking she could score points by attacking a man who has nothing left to prove. But when all you've got are recycled talking points and blind loyalty, you're not making an argument. You're writing your own punchline. De Niro didn't destroy Bondi with insults. He destroyed her with the one thing her entire political circle never saw coming: basic truth, delivered with confidence and completely immune to spin. Because when the circus finally collapses, it's not the clowns who shout the loudest that people remember. It's the one person who stood in the center ring, pointed out the absurdity, and didn't flinch.